you have a child or children in your custody and you are intentional about training them and raising them well, and it looks as if it's very difficult combining it with your career, I need to tell you that you're doing a good job no matter the level or your experience at this point. I need to let you know that you are doing a really good job. Yeah. I just want to share a few tips on the days I'm able to do it well. What has been helping me on days I'm able to find a balance. There's some days I just want to relax, like I just want to relax. I'm like, let me just do me. So, but on days when I'm really serious about finding a balance and productive and the likes, so some of the things that has been helping me, I just feel okay, let me share. Balancing motherhood with career, it's not easy at all. It's not easy because motherhood, it's a beautiful journey and a privilege to be given the opportunity to walk in that path. You have a child or children in your custody and you are intentional about training them and raising them well, and it looks as if it's very difficult combining it with your career. You're not the only one. I see you, mom. I need to tell you that you're doing a good job no matter the level or your experience at this point. I need to let you know that you are doing a really good job and I give it to you. Yeah, so the first thing I would say is time management. I need to also say that finding that balance is not easy. It takes being intentional, and it's there are a lot of times you would just find yourself relaxing and all those stuff, but if you really want to do it, it is doable but not easy. I just have to put that out there. It's not easy because there are a lot of things on your table and you want to juggle between two important things: being a mom and your career. Being able to manage your time well, because we all have 24 hours. Motherhood itself, it's a full-time job. And your career alone is a full-time job. For single career ladies out there, they would tell you that, oh, it's a full-time job having your career, because you want to grow, you want to expand, you want to have promotion and the likes in your career, and you also have children. You're also on the beautiful journey of motherhood. It's not easy. It's not very easy at all. So, but the first thing is time management. You also want to go on social media, you want to call people, you want to check up on people. At this phase of my life, it's been difficult keeping in touch with people, and sometimes I even have to put a reminder to say, oh, call so and so, because it's not easy. Usually the days I have to myself, now that I'm even having YouTube to eat, it's just weekend or public holidays, and at that time I have a lot of things to do. I want to be a wife to my husband, be a mom to my son, and also be a good student to my PI. So it's difficult, and I also have my spiritual life to look out for. So, but on days I'm able to haze my goal, one thing I've discovered is being able to manage my time very, very well. And another thing is asking for help. Having supportive people around is very, very important as a mom. If you need help, if you have community of people that you can call on to help you on some days, my husband, especially when you have a supportive spouse, it makes the work a lot easier. When you have supportive spouse, on some days my husband will be the one to cook when I'm not able to cook. For days, it will be the one to look after our son, especially when I was preparing for my exams. It would be the one to bathe him, take him to school, and likes just for me to focus on my career at that point in time. So you need to have supportive people around you. Either if you're a single mom, you can have supportive people, maybe your friends in church, your friends at work, your family members. Just have one or two people that are interested in your well-being, interested in your success, as well as the success of your child, so that even when you are not there, they can show up for you. Another thing that I found very helpful is not putting too much expectation on yourself. Working in the lab all days, usually my son is usually the last person to be picked in school. And I'm not saying this with pride or with feeling of maybe, how will I say, like she's even happy. No, I'm not happy, but for the most part there's nothing I can do about it. And the mistake I made was the daycare where he was attending, they closed very late. They closed 12 a.m. So then I moved him to another daycare that is closer to the house, but I didn't pay attention to their closing time. And then I discovered we moved in there and I discovered they close by 6, which is not very convenient for me. So it's usually giving me that guilt. And because it's very close to our house, like 2 minutes drive or 3 minutes drive at the most, so it's difficult for me to take him back to the other place, which was 15 minutes. And aside the closing time, the other school too, there are some things that I'm seeing, like their teachers smoking and those stuff. So that has prevented me from either taking him back. But with the time constraints, especially when I'm the one doing the pickup, I usually pick him up late. So for the most part, I'm always feeling bad, but I've checked myself. I've tried to adjust my schedule. Even when I'm say, okay, when I say, oh, today I'll leave the lab maybe by 5, but I'm doing one or two things, and unexpectedly the thing just kept dragging and dragging and dragging, you know. So but as much as I'm trying not to pick him up late, I'm also trying to balance my time, like, because I know I can't go to the lab on weekends because I'm at home with him to spend the time with him. I can't go on weekends. For the weekdays that I'm able to go, I want to be able to achieve as much as I can. Because for people that are not in my shoe, maybe they have more time to spend than I do. But as much as I'm there, I want to do a lot of things between the maybe 9 to 5 or 5:30 when I have to be on my way to pick him. So sometimes when I'm pitch, okay, 5:15 I need to go, 5:15 now becomes 5:40, because before I clean up my space, my workspace and all those stuff. So for a long time I was having this guilt, maybe I'm not a good mom, I'm not this, I'm not that. But I've just come to discover that it is what it is. This is the phase where I am, and that is going to lead me to the next point, that recognize the phase where you are in. For now, like I said earlier, this is the phase where I am. If I'm working, maybe I would have more control over my time, in quotes. But this is the phase where I am. I have to give maybe like a daily or a weekly report to my PI or this and that. We have meeting, and I want to be able to present something at the meeting. But I can't just say because I have a child, I won't be effective, or I won't do anything in the lab. I will not make it. So I have a son, I have this. Are you the first person that will have a son? No. so coming to realize this is the phase that you are in, and facing it and trying to get as much productivity out of yourself for the phase that you are in. If you move to a new phase, maybe in a few years time, yeah, it might be a little easier or maybe a little tougher, who knows. But as when you embrace the phase that you are in, like, this is the phase that I'm in, and I just have to be productive. I can't say, okay, I won't be productive because I have a son. No, God is not even going to accept that excuse, because are you now blaming God for giving you a child? No. so embracing the phase and ensuring and telling yourself that I have to make it work. I have to make it work. I have to make it work. So, and then devising means to make it work. Do you get? So that is how I believe you can also balance the two, that having a child doesn't hinder you from giving your best or putting in your best when it comes to your career. Another thing that I found helpful is to reduce time I spent on social media. Because I'm in the US, I can be on the internet 24/7 because the internet is there. But I discovered that I just know that if I'm spending a long time on social media, it will reduce the time I have for other things, maybe for research or at home, the time I spend with my family and the like. So usually on Facebook now, I just breeze in and breeze out. And now at the time I was telling maybe my husband that my new social media now is YouTube, because as I'm working in the lab and I just want to hear something, like know what is going on around me, I just plug in my earpiece, and then I'm listening to whatever I'm listening to while I'm also doing what I'm doing, because I'm working with my hand, but I don't need to scroll to see, it is maybe Facebook or Instagram where you want to look at the pictures, where you want to scroll and type and all that. But for YouTube, for most part, I just watch. So I just listen, maybe whatever the news station or TV or whoever I'm following on YouTube. That's my own form of social media. So, and that has helped me. I'm able to know what's going on wherever, like in my home country, Nigeria, and I'm also able to do whatever I'm doing at that point in time. And another thing with the balancing the motherhood and the career kind of thing, so it's affecting my ability to keep in touch with people, to keep in touch with family members. I missed a lot of calls from a lot of people. It's not because I don't just want to pick your calls, but there's some calls that I even pick maybe in the morning because of the time difference. So by the time I'm engaging in the conversation with them, because I'm relaxed during the conversation. Maybe I'm trying to prepare, and eventually I'm leaving the house maybe 9:20, 9:15, and it's affecting other things. So usually what I do is, for the most part, I call people when I'm driving. I call maybe in the morning when I'm driving, and maybe when I want to listen to some of my Bible plans, the video and the likes, I do most of them when I'm driving. So some things that I'm able to do when I'm driving, I also try to utilize that time. If it has to do with me listening to something, I listen when I'm driving, so as to be able to buy time, like, or when I'm working or when I'm driving. That's when I do most of my calling, because I just feel I need to utilize that time to make that conversation. Another thing I do to be more productive is to meal prep. I do batch cooking. Thankfully, there's good stable electricity, so I'm not scared of the food spoiling and the like. So I batch cook for a long time, maybe for like a week or 2 weeks, and I store them. So with that, I don't cook every day. That has helped me to save time. And another, for people that can afford it, I cannot afford it, is to get a is to get a nanny or babysitter that can help you watch after your kids. Of course, a trusted babysitter that you would know your child is safe with. So maybe while the babysitter is in the living room, you can quickly do one or two things in maybe your bedroom or in your study. And another important thing is to ensure you're taking enough rest. Yeah, the rest might not be very you might not be able to take as much rest as you want to, but not that you would be sleep deprived. I've discovered that when I'm able to rest well, I'm more productive. With all these things, as much as you're able to do all these things, and then pray to God to help you, because prayer too goes a long way. Pray that God would help you to be able to manage your time well, that God will provide supportive people around you. If you're a single mom, or you don't have your spouse, maybe you're even married, but for one reason or the other you're having a distant relationship with your spouse, you can pray that God would provide supportive people around you. God has done it for me. I don't know if you've watched my video, but I told you, when my husband wasn't here, God provided supportive people that were very, very, very helpful for me. They were ready to help me and just make life easy for me at that phase of my life. So I would encourage you to pray to God that God would provide for you supportive. God will place you around supportive people and place supportive people around you. And as they're also trying to support you too, you too should also be helpful and be supportive in their own life as much as you can. Don't be the one who they are just who is like a pest without making any positive contribution to their own life, no matter how little that you can do that. So I believe with all these tips that you would be able to be, if not 100%, but at least I'm sure it would help you. It would help you in your level of productivity when you're trying to balance motherhood with your career. And then as a Christian mom, I would ensure that whenever you're around in your family, ensure you're around. Prioritize time you spend with your family. Being a career mom should not affect the quality time, the time you spend with your family, with your husband, with your son, with your daughter, with your child. Ensure that they can feel your presence anytime you are there, that, oh, mom is around. They can know that, oh, whenever mom is around, mom is around. Mom is always playing with us. Mom is always chatting with us. Mom is gisting with us and all those things. It would also help them in their orientation of what a normal family should be. As a Christian family, you shouldn't give them the impression that being a career mom or a career dad implies non-availability in the home. You get what I mean? Ensure that whenever you are around, you are around. Let your presence be felt in your home. And another thing is to ensure that in your relationship with your children, you're always creating time to bond with them. Ensure you're bonding with them at those times that you're around. Ensure you're bonding with them, and also bring Christian content, like Christian talk. Just get to know what is going on in their life. You don't want them to be alone in this world. You don't want them to be alone without know what is going on their phone, with their friend, who are they talking to, who are they spending time with, you know, so that you are not caught unaware when they say some things, or when they start acting in certain ways. And you know, it's not easy, but God can help us, and God will help us. And I hope that with these tips that I've been able to share with you, you've been able to get one or two things that you can incorporate into your day-to-day life that could help you in one way or the other. If you also have anything you want to share, please let us talk in the comment section, and I'll be glad to read from you. Please don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like and share our videos, and tell your friend about this channel. Let's grow this community, and God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. Thank you.